Afternoon. How are we all doing? Sorry I'm late. On the phone to Virgin Media, trying to get some internet speed boosting done. But I didn't realize it was going to take 55 minutes to not solve the problem. And then he said, tell you what we'll do, let's do a pinhole reset on your router. I was like, no, I'm about to go into the live room. I'm not sitting here for 55 minutes waiting for you to do diagnostic and then you telling me to turn it off and on again. Give up. How are we doing? Christian, Peter, Crom, Steve, George, Fletch, Joaquin, JC, David, Daytrader FX. How are we doing? John, Virginia, David, EMAC. Right. Look at the dashboard. What a day, eh? Pulling teeth today. So nothing's moved basically today. Hey, look, something's got above the 60 level. Pound Swiss looks like it's the biggest, strongest thing of the day. It's nearly hit ADR, look. Big day. Yeah, so not a lot moving today. No ADRs. Obviously, nothing's hit weekly ranges, so there's nothing to cover there, nothing to cover there, nothing to cover there. So it's pretty much like the live room this morning. I went through every pair this morning in the live room, so I'm not going to do a full analysis again. There's no point. If you want to have a look at all pairs, I went through every single pair this morning looking for support resistance setups and where I will be taking trades on those. I've got alerts set up on lots of different levels on the pairs, but it's not going to move much. Main reason being we've got no news this week until Thursday. So there's literally nothing going to move the market this week until Thursday. And obviously it's summer trading months, so it's all very quiet. But anyway, nothing news-wise this morning. House prices in the UK are expected to go down for the next year. The Fed might start dropping their rates at some point next year. Something might happen at some point in the next 12 months. You never know. That's basically what the gist of the news was this morning. So yeah, no forecast news. Nothing else has happened. Market is flatlined. Anybody got anything else they want us to talk about this afternoon? Because that's pretty much it. Go and watch this morning's replay if you want an analysis of all the pairs. It's all on there. We'll do the ORBs today. So this morning's DAX was pretty good. We got an ORB to the upside. We've got 3R movement out of that. I took 2. Downside broke down to 2R. So it doesn't matter which way you went today. There was an opportunity to make money, but it was a very whippy open. But yeah, made $500 out of the DAX this morning. And then we got to go. 1 minute. So the DAX has had a gap fill to the downside, which we filled. So we looked at this morning and trading it back down into that gap. And I said, that is a perfect buy spot. Off it goes. So if you took that buy on the DAX, well done. Upside wise on the DAX, we've got a gap fill play in at the moment up to here. So we've got that gap which needs to be completed, which is 225 ADR. That's going to take days to do that, especially with the rate this thing's moving at the minute. So with the US indices, obviously there's no gaps on any of the US indices at the moment. Dow upside is back all the way up there, yesterday's high. Upside wise, if this goes this morning, ADR is in the way before we get there. Downside is last week's low, which is Friday's low. So there is a downside there. That was a gap this morning as well, but that gap got filled. So the gap fill to the downside is done on the Dow. The S&P is pretty much the same thing. The S&P has got a gap fill to the downside, and the NASDAQ, when the chart updates, has also got the gap fill to the downside to do as well. So the S&P and the NASDAQ both gap fill shorts. The Dow has already done the gap fill. So already gone long. Blimey, that was quick. So long on the S&P, long on the Dow. On these are the pre-market ranges. So the pre-market 5 was a decent size today, so taken that long. Pre-market range on the S&P gone long. NASDAQ's gone long on everything. 1R already achieved on the Dow. I'm just going to manually intervene on these. So all three have triggered at the same point. Taking 1.5 on the Dow. Nice easy ones today. Saying that, the NASDAQ suddenly falls back inside the range. Wow. Why isn't it? So it's a big wide range on that. $1,200 banks so far. Right, so out too soon on the Dow. NASDAQ's completely rejected those highs. Look at the Dow go. 3R. God, talk about getting out too soon on that. Whew. Big moves. Morning, afternoon even, Baggy, Amy, how we doing? So yeah, 3R on the 5-minute opening range pre-market. So whether you took the pre-market 5.15, whatever you took, if you took the pre-market, that's 3R this morning or this afternoon. Very big move. Hedged on the NASDAQ. S&P is pulling back off those highs as well. Tricky one. Afternoon, AZ. So just a reminder, there's no live room tomorrow. I'm not doing Tuesdays or Thursdays at the moment for the summer months. Just going to do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay, short the NASDAQ now. S&P still breaking longs. We've got real divergence across these two at the moment. Long push on the S&P, but the NASDAQ's really whippy. Not sure which direction it wants to go. And obviously the Dow is still a long break. So I got 1.5 minutes to go. There's your opening ranges so far. That's absolutely massive on the NASDAQ. Pretty big one on the Dow as well, but no direction there. Ooh, big whippy open. FX wise, how long we got? 1 minute. I just wait for those candles to close in a minute. Look at that massive NASDAQ whipsaw look. Oof. Nasty this morning. Afternoon even. My positions on the FX at the moment. The pound US dollar is just at break even at the minute. I'm toying with the idea of taking one off this. So we're back up where I was on Friday, where I had a potential exit on the whole position, which I didn't want to obviously exit the whole position because there wasn't any money in it. But that's my target up there. We've got 2 propulsion gaps in the way, which haven't, well, that one has been tested once, almost twice. That haven't really been like properly tested yet. So I think there's still a lot more upside in this at the minute. Because we've got no news until Thursday this week, what I'm concerned about is this thing just staying here all week until Thursday. We got no pound news, no US news coming up at all really until Thursday, Friday this week. So it's Thursday for the US dollar and then Friday for the pound. So I'm considering taking one off here, this entry there, and just banking that because it's 0.5% pretty much, just to get that in the bank. If it then pulls down, I will take the entry again and get in a second time and then take the second run of it as well. So bank it twice, basically. But I'm just waiting to see what happens with the price action at New York as to whether they're going to rally or drop the US, if they're going to do anything with it. I'd like to try and get up into that propulsion gap before I take that off, if possible. So I'm just seeing if we can take yesterday's high out. If we do take out yesterday's high and it starts to pull back, I'll probably just exit that position and assume that we are going to pull back into here, and then I can add it back on again. We'll see, but nothing else bankable at the moment. I've got a little bit of Aussie US I can bank, but again, so close to TP on it, but not really going anywhere. Okay, so there's your 5-minute ranges. The Dow is a big range today, so I've taken that one off, missed half the profit on it, but banked anyway, $600 banked. NASDAQ is a really big range today, and the S&P's not a bad range at all. That's done 1R off of the pre-market range, depending on what you've taken. If you've taken the 15, that's easily 2R you've done. So my range is a lot wider. I've got different rules in place on this one, but nice break to the upside. I think this is probably going to want to run long now, as the S&P is, and the Dow is as well. Yeah, there we go. S&P's en route. Oh, look at this thing. There's a lot of volume coming in today. The only thing that is moving. Afternoon, Dinesh. How do I get my trade manager opened in a separate window? Just open another chart. So just open another chart, right click on a pair, chart window. And then just put the template on there. Set the trade manager dashboard on there. And this is in a window. So this is running in a window. So the chart is here. And you've got the window separator there. You can't see it because I've made everything white. But you can see when I go like that, it turns into a drag icon. I'm just trying to see if we can get a 2R on this S&P. If I can get a move up to here, I'll close this S&P out and use 50% of the profit on that just to pay for that one, because that one's hedged in at 513 loss now. So if I can get that out at $1,000, that banks me 1,000 on those two, and 500 there is $1,500 a day. So that'd be enough today. Just need the S&P to rally a little bit. Afternoon, Kennelly. Euro pound. Did you not ask about this morning, Durej? Someone asked about it. It's the worst thing in the world, possibly. You could possibly look at trading at the moment. Euro pound. It's just gone from a 5-day area of balance, price discovery, into a 5-day area of balance. You haven't gone anywhere in 10 days. You've gone basically 1.5 ADR from high to low, I think it is. 112 pips, 47 ADR. So basically 2 ADR in 2 weeks. Not going anywhere. It's absolutely flatlined. I had a long on it from there, which I got out at break even because I can't remember why. News was coming up. Yeah, Euro news, wasn't it, there? And then I had a short there, which was a nice straight in out done. But other than that, there's no entries on this. It's just sideways, flatlined. Wasn't you? No, somebody else was asking about euro pound this morning. The only reason I remember it is because it's just totally sideways. So we talked about taking a trade from here. So this area here, these highs of that week, if you transpose that along there, that's kind of a really rough support. So there's a rough long. But I mean, there's much better pairs out there to trade. US dollar CAD's a pretty good setup at the moment. I'm short on that one on here. I took it short on the on this account as well. So off this double top, basically. Back. Yeah, so US dollar CAD. So it's this monthly high double top. Looking for a push back down into this area as a potential support area. See where my TP is there. Yeah, euro pound is just sideways at the minute. Everything's sideways at the minute. It's just all sideways at the minute. Very, very, very difficult to find anything to get into. You just saw it was on the RSI dashboard? No. Euro pound is not lit up on the RSI dashboard. There's nothing lit up on the RSI dashboard at all. Oh, unless you're looking at another time frame. If you're looking at another time frame, maybe, yeah. If you're looking at lower time frames, you might have something lit up, but not on the hourlies and above. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing extended on any time frame at the minute. It's utter sideways land. You can feel my day slipping away from me. Should have taken that off up there and just shut those both down and just walked away with that grand, but never mind. So S&P's pulled back inside, well, basically pulled back to the open. There's an awful lot of volume coming in, but look at these wicks and look at these bodies. Yeah, so we got huge wicks to the upside and downside, and we got tiny little bodies, meaning that the market is just executing orders at the moment. Still no directional bias at all. It's just executing orders up and down, up and down, up and down. 15-minute. All right, yeah. So if it's extended on the 15-minute, I don't even use the RSI on the 15. I haven't got it. Put it on there. One. So yeah, extended to the downside. So you can take a long. I mean, you got basically higher lows going in. So higher low from there, off of that reversal alert. Just had a reversal alert on M15. The reason I don't use the RSI on the 15-minute time frame, you'll see when I explain it why it doesn't make much sense. You can see on these candlesticks, yeah, when the RSI is extended without even looking at the RSI. So that is an RSI extension, that is an RSI extension, that is an RSI extension, that is an RSI extension. You can tell it's an RSI extension because if you move up roughly 3/4 of an ADR on a low time frame, you will hit an RSI extension. So all it does is it tells you what you can see on the chart on low time frames. So it's a little bit like the stochastic in that it just paints what price does. So I don't find it very much use on low time frames. We're looking for sustained rallies, ideally, which is what you would typically find on the hourlies and the 4 hourlies, where the banks are consistently buying constantly in one direction or selling in one direction. that's when you get your RSI extensions, and we're playing the pullbacks on those. Just because something's moved down in a day doesn't mean it's going to necessarily flip up. I mean, it never does, obviously, but you know, you can just doing what it says. It's the same as the currency strength meters. Yeah, you see on Financial Juice every day they publish a currency strength meter. It's the most useless thing in the world because it tells you what you can see on your chart. Yeah, so the Australian dollar, this dark blue, this blue line here. Yeah, at 11 o'clock last night, it was strong. So what does that mean? Every single Australian dollar cross was down because that was up, which means that anything that you are XXX odd will be the opposite direction. You can see that on the chart. Doesn't help you in any way, does it? Like this one here, the Swiss franc. So if you go to your charts now, you will find all the Swiss franc pairs are down. So I can tell you that Aussie US dollar Swiss is up at the moment. Yeah. Or was up whenever that chart came out. This morning at 8 o'clock. Yeah. You can see it on the chart. You don't need a currency strength meter to tell you that the Swiss franc's been weak because you can see everything against the Swiss franc's been pushing. You know, the same principle with the RSI. You get extensions. It's just does what it says on a tin type thing, isn't it? So stopped out on that long on S&P. So kind of hoping these guys now go for the gap fills to the downside. So if we can get these gap fills done, which basically means breaking the Globex lows, I'll take them off on the gap fill. That's not far away actually to the downside. So if we can get these gap fills done, I'll then let that one hopefully push back up and be able to get out of the buy with less than the short makes and just make a little profit on that one. That one's going to be a loss today though, potentially. Might get break even on it if we get I need a 2R basically to the downside. So if we can get a push down into there, that'll be a break even. Will be a profit there, and then we've got that one position I've got to worry about trying to get out of today. Right. So yeah, there's nothing else to cover basically here. So positions I've got on at the moment, as I said, I went through all these again this morning as well. I feel like I'm repeating myself from this morning because nothing's moved, nothing's changed. So Aussie US currently have long, 2 positions long. First entry was on the RSI extension from last Tuesday. We pushed down on Thursday, second entry taken, sideways Wednesday. Sorry, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sideways Thursday, pushed up on Friday. So far gone nowhere today. So 2 positions on that one, loads of upside propulsion gap targets, and we've got these older ones here from the week before. So just looking for some kind of push to the upside on that one. Euro odd have on as well as a short, again, propulsion move on Tuesday. Where are we? Thursday. Sorry, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So yeah, first entry taken Wednesday morning on that one, targeting propulsion gap to the downside. We did buy back out of that one last week as well, that tiny little accumulation which broke up there. So the market does seem to be long on the euro, still shorting the Australian dollar as well because the Australian dollar had bad news. So got short on that one, only the 1 entry, been in it for 4 days, not gone anywhere, can't do anything about it. Euro CAD, very much same. Big propulsion move up on Friday off the back of the Canadian dollar unemployment rates, which the market wasn't very happy about. That was a bit of an overreaction for a as expected news event. So looking to push back down into the bottom of that propulsion gap, take that off, which would be roughly 0.25%, something like that. About 0.25%, not a lot. Euro New Zealand have that on short at the moment as well. Again, sitting there for 4 days, waiting, doing nothing. 2 ADR hits back to back. Entry, looking to push back into that propulsion gap. May look at taking it off there. See what happens. It's got to get there first. We've got to get the market moving in some direction first. And obviously today it's not doing anything. Pound US dollar. Got 3 positions on that one. First entry from last week. Sorry, week before last now. God, no, sorry, 3 weeks ago. Look, that's last week. Week before. 2.5 weeks. Very much like the euro pound. Yeah, got into that on the RSI extension. Nice big drop down, looking for a quick push up into propulsion. Sideways. Yeah, and then we've just moved out of that range down into a new range. So looking for it to come back up and retest this propulsion gap here as my exit, but I can get out of it if I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hold it. Just got to try and get some money on the table, basically. Just struggling at the moment. And US dollar CAD. So got the short from that ADR push last week. Again, sideways for 2 days. We've pushed down slightly today, so we're kind of roughly where we started, but a little bit more bearish. So that's the high that I'm kind of worried about to the downside. So that propulsion target, I will watch. I've put my TP a little bit beyond it because basically this entire move here, if you look, this is part of a V-shaped recovery. So when you're looking at propulsion gaps, the ideal propulsion gaps are accumulation breaks. Those gaps are very good because it means they were building a book and they've broken to the upside with it, meaning the market is speculatively positioned long on it. When they come back into it, they usually will try to add. So we know they're going to come back. This is part of a V-shaped recovery. So that is all these propulsion gaps in here are just part of the undoing of that move there. So selling it, buying it back, all making profit. It's all done. This break of that high and retest is where we really started the up move. So that's the propulsion gap I would be more comfortable targeting. But yeah, just to give us some downside movement, really. Nothing much moving. Pushing back up. Tricky one. Look at this today. What a messy, messy market. Okay, so short position, closed out, tiny loss, $100 loss. So if we can break long on the NASDAQ, that'd be nice. So now I want the NASDAQ to go long. See what I mean about flipping long and short? Go with the momentum. This market hasn't got any clue which way it's going to break today at the moment. So I'll just go with whichever direction the market wants to go. At the moment, not going anywhere. Very hard. Has anybody got any other pairs specifically they want to look at? UJ resumes more down, aided by gold up. Gold's got nothing to do with the US dollar yen. The gold is going up because the US dollar is coming down. Gold is driven by US dollar, not the other way around. It's a US dollar cross. It's not going anywhere at the moment, though. Literally, we've opened there and we're there. We haven't even done a quarter of an ADR yet. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be one of those months. This is why I'm only doing 3 live rooms, because it's just not going anywhere. If you want to make any money at the minute, you really need to be on tiny time frames, and obviously it's all completely flippy coin type stuff down there. So scalping a gold sell at the moment. Good. Yeah, nice move. Very volatile open today. As you can see, it's full volume, but we are literally back at the open. Look, that's the open. That's where we are. That's the open. All we've done literally is whipsawed. Gone absolutely nowhere. Apart from the Dow, which is a one, obviously, that I got out too soon. Trying to protect my profits from this morning. Anyway. I'll leave that sell in place. Because it is also a break of that low as well. So if we do break that low and we've got market structure going short, then I'll take that short. Yeah, tricky open today. Euro pound trader Omar, I have literally just done euro pound, and I also covered it this morning, and it's the only pair that I would never look at because it's just going sideways. Why is everybody fascinated with euro pound today? What's everybody got so excited about euro pound for? Do tell, because my chart's telling me that I shouldn't have even looked at this thing for 2 weeks. Everybody seems to be interested in the euro pound. It's something's going on. What does everybody know about the euro pound? Oh, that was a joke, Omar. Sorry. I'm finding it very hard to find humour in this market at the minute because it's so boring and depressing. I feel like depressed door. No, what's that joke from? I can't remember what it was. Gone. See, my brain's not functioning at all. Afternoon, Astro. But yeah, it's just, it is literally pulling teeth at the moment. Look at it all. Look, sideways. That yen's come down a little bit. But yen pairs, yeah, yen pairs sort of on the move, but again, until Thursday rather, I think we'll be struggling. Okay, so we've rejected the open. So NASDAQ's pulled straight back into the open. So potentially this is trying to break to the downside to get that gap fill done. So this purple line basically is a previous monthly level. I think it's last month's low. No, so it's 2 months ago's high. A bit difficult to see on the 5-minute chart, but so we got that gap fill to the downside to try and fill. We got a beautiful double bottom at yesterday's low or Friday's low, basically. So Friday's low tapped straight into Thursday's low. That's where we stopped. Then we gapped up this morning. So if we can get down here and that gap fill doesn't act as a bounce point, we'll be pushing down to yesterday's low or Friday's low rather, in which case then I think we probably will get the bounce. So look for longs to the downside on that NASDAQ. S&P is probably a very similar story. Yeah. So S&P somewhere in that area, be a good buy spot if we can get down there. Got to get there first. We've got 50 seconds left. I was just going to say it's pushing down now, but this looks like it's painting an inside bar. Dow is an inside bar. So not a lot of movement that last 5 minutes. Drunk on my drink. Okay, so virtually an inside bar. Definitely is an inside bar on the S&P. So look for a break of that previous candle low or high for a breakout. Easy. Could you talk a bit about why magic number is needed for each different chart on MT4? Because I'm coming from TradingView. So basically, magic numbers are what the EAs use to determine what it should manage. So if you hold your mouse over an order, so that one, for example, says expert ID 789. So that is the NASDAQ taking a trade using magic number 789. So 789 basically says, so in this EA, it's saying when it's talking about logic and orders, we are using those magic numbers so that it knows which trades to manage. So if I've got a trailing stop on this, for example, yeah, and it says trail by half an ADR or whatever it may be, it needs to know what to trail. So every order is given a unique magic number. So if you place a manual trade with the buttons, those manual trades will be placed with magic number 0, meaning it's a manual order. EAs assign a magic number to each instrument that they are placed onto. So you could place an EA on 5 different charts of the NASDAQ with 5 different magic numbers, and it would be able to independently manage each of those orders. So that's all the magics do. They just make sure that the EAs don't interfere with each other's operation. Especially important with things like the market reversal alerts EA, where you will have it running on lots and lots and lots of pairs, and it needs to know, and this is why the market reversal alerts EA has 2 magic numbers, magic number for buys and a magic number for sells, because it manages baskets of positions. It needs to know what to do with each of those baskets. So the buys get added into one basket, the sells get added into another basket. Yeah, that's basically all it is. It's just making sure that your EA knows what it should be interfering with and what it should be leaving alone. There are other ways of achieving the same sort of thing, but this is the way it's always worked in MT4. We've always used magic numbers. And the reason I think all EAs should use a magic number is because you get some EAs now that don't use magic numbers. So they will create and manage their trades in a different way it will still be creating a magic number, a magic start, which it's called, but it will do it in a different way. So it might use the pair and random number, or pair or I don't know, there's all sorts of ways of doing it. But the problem with that is if you can't control the magic number used in an EA, you've got no way of telling that EA not to do something. And in my opinion, you need control of everything when you're trading because it's money at risk. So if you get an EA that you put on a chart that doesn't allow you to change the magic number, and you've got other EAs running, who's to say that that one won't start interfering with your trades? And there's nothing you can do about it. If you can't control its magic number and tell it which ones it can and can't touch, it will interfere with other trades that you've got going. It might be looking at profit, for example. So these figures that are here, yeah, today's profit 112, today's profit 474, today's profit 492, today's profit 644. That is today's profit generated by the magic number running on the US 30. If you've got an EA that says go and get me today's profit, it may well go and get the entire day's profit out of your account history, which is 549. So it will interact with the EA in a different way because it will receive a different number. Yeah. So there's all sorts of reasons you should use them. And 90% of EA developers, probably more, do. But you get the odd ones that think it's better not to. And it's fine. I just don't. Did 3K on the ORB today, including 1.5K loss this morning. Good job, Harold. See, I didn't profit this morning. How can you trade the same strategy and get a totally different result? Interesting, isn't it? That is the only pair that shows a little bit of room to trade. What, the euro pound? Depends how you class a little bit of room to trade. Everything's got a little bit of room to. The pound New Zealand's got a lovely amount of room to trade. Like, got 1.5 ADRs on that. I just had an alert go off. I just realised. What was that? Pound New Zealand. And so Pound New Zealand, this is the area I was interested in shorting. Basically, if we're going to hold this range, I want to take a short up here and try and get out to the downside. So let's have a quick look. $7.48. Okay. So I can take a short on the Pound New Zealand. I'm going to go with a quarter of an ADR stop on this and 3/4 of an ADR TP. Because 3/4 of an ADR gets me out of that range low. And it's enough breathing room for them to take a little bit of space above that high today, if they're going to do that. If not, this is literally a quick in out scalp. And I may also put a trading stop on this one. Actually, no, I'll do it manually. So I'm just going to trail it by, actually, I'll trail it by 250. So when this gets into profit, assuming it does get into profit, down to here, I want to start trailing and just reduce that risk down. So it's a quick scalp, just down into those range lows. So we identified, if you weren't, as I say, go and watch the live room this morning. I've been through all the analysis this morning. I've set up alerts all over the place for what I was interested in this morning, which are all in here. No, they're not. All in here. All these levels, basically. Oil, I've already done. Just trying to find some opportunities to get into some trades, basically, because this market is kind of stuck at the minute. So just looking for weekly high, monthly high, low, support, resistance, bounce plays using the market reversal alerts indicator. So M5, whoops, reversal alerts, basically. You're not going to get an alert on this one because it's too far away, because that move's been too fast. So this is just a price action entry in this case. It's either going to get stuck at these highs and we're going to bounce out, or this is the resistance bounce to the downside. So it's worth a shot, though, from a support resistance perspective. It's a good risk reward. It's the only thing I can really find out there at the minute. Oh, got it. Just triggered short on the S&P. So I'm now hedged long on the NASDAQ, short on the S&P. I can't win today. This is going to be a loser today. David, I love gold. Banked 2 to 1 for a 5% gain, 58 pips in 15 minutes. Not bad. Take it and run today. You can grab 5%, run away with it. Harold, I'm trading very tight stop loss with a 1.5R fixed TP, no offset, pre-15 minute. Since the 14th of July, it's done 14K on a 300K funded account. Good job. So what's that? That's about 5%, 4% gain in a month. 24K. Done 24K. All right, okay. So that's nearly 10% gain in a month. Brilliant. Good job. And that's the pre-market 15s with 1.5 hour, is it? All you need, just that quick. Those pre-markets are fantastic when they work. Very tight stop loss. Just reduce that risk down. See this one today. Look, you had a 1 hour there. Quick, easy gain. You had almost a 1 hour on the NASDAQ. S&P, you had 3 hour. Yeah, on that initial break, 3 hour there, 1 hour there, just under 1 hour there. Yeah, that's 5 hour. 5% gain on a 1% risk in 5 minutes on 3 instruments at the open. It's all about grab it fast and run, especially at the moment with the market doing things like this. It doesn't help. I'm going to turn a winning day into a losing day today. Okay, pound New Zealand coming down nicely. Everything else is just flat at the minute, so pound is definitely the one on the march today. So all the pound pairs today have had a fairly good sort of last 3-4 hours of movement, but not a lot else really today. Bit of yeah, there you go, pound again. Everything else pretty sideways today. Boring Mondays. So the Dow's just running up into resistance by the looks of things. So that's another really old high, that is 3-week high. So very good level, been respected multiple times, that level. Over and over again, we keep bouncing off of that level of support and resistance. It's kind of, if you look at it, it's the equilibrium in the range. That's your range midline, yeah, which we just hit. That's also just shy of ADR today and a propulsion gap fill from Friday. Good looking short opportunity. Right, that's all I've really got for you today. There's not really much point in me going through any FX because there's no setups. There's really nothing to look at. As I say, I went through every pair this morning, looking at, basically did an analysis on every single pair. If you go and look at the replay, you'll see very easily where I start looking at the FX pairs, starting with Aussie dollar CAD at the top. So if you want to go and have a look at that analysis, obviously everything I said this morning is still relevant because we were around about there when I started talking, and we're around about there now. So nothing's really changed. There's nothing extended on the RSIs. We haven't even got any extensions on the RSI 14s. The RSI 14s aren't even getting to the 70-30 levels either. So there's literally nothing setting up. We need some news catalysts to drive this. We haven't got any news today. It's a bank holiday in Canada. We've got some New Zealand news coming up Wednesday morning, which is just the inflation forecasts. So, you know, tomorrow we've got no news. Literally, there's nothing happening this week until Thursday. So I get the feeling if we are going to get any movement this week, it's going to be tail end of the week. We might well move the market somewhere by Wednesday, in which case it might be good to look for some midweek reversals. So any RSI extensions we get tomorrow, stroke Wednesday, that are sitting at the 70-30 levels, they might well be good things to have a look at, taking mean reversions on into the week. So midweek reversals, if we can get, that sort of push where we can just about get an RSI extension on anything, or even an ADR hit. Yeah. So if you've got the ADR dashboard, watch the ADR dash, because anything that hits ADR is probably hitting it not because of strong movement, but because of light liquidity. So light liquidity equals fast moves, because they need to move the market further to fill the orders. So you get those spikes and bigger, stronger moves to the upside. That pound New Zealand's a good example. If you look at it on the 5-minute, yeah, they're trying to fill an order, and they're just having to reach so far to get that order filled, and then obviously bring it back into range. So any of those you might find are ADR hits, but you'll struggle to get reversal alerts on them because they're usually fast. So it's very, very tricky month. Is there any reason why it says pound New Zealand at the top of every chart when I put on the market structure template? Because you haven't got the indicator. So it's just a text remnant. Get rid of it. Just delete it. Just double click on it. Delete it. It'll go. Just an old remnant. I ought to redo the template, really. I might do that, actually. That'll give you something to do. Because there's no point in watching this, is there? Not doing anything. Look at this, Swiss yen, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Look at the wicks. And look at the bodies on these candles. It's just the market algos running up, down, making money, executing orders. Literally no direction. Rubbish. So I've got these two to manage, these two trades. It looks like this is going to be a lost day today. So if this runs long, this one will make money, that one will lose. If it runs short, that one will make money, that one will lose. If it goes down and then up, hopefully I can make some money on that one. And then as it comes back up, I'll take a small loss on that and come out break even on the two. But that is about the maximum I'm going to get out of this market today. So got out of the Dow too soon, unfortunately. I've got all the indicators I need now to set my charts up. I just need to get to grips with MT4 after using TradingView. Yeah, very different. Somebody said to me the other day, in the usual nasty way, as people do every now and again, you get when you put yourself on YouTube and things, you get people going, look at that idiot. Look at the software he's using. How antiquated is it? How's he ever going to make money trading on that platform? Has he not heard of TradingView? Yes, I have heard of TradingView. Who's the idiot who thinks that a different trading platform is going to make them more or less profitable? Yeah, idiots like you don't use TradingView, so how can you possibly make money? You don't understand the difference between a candlestick on MT4 and a candlestick on TradingView being the same. Who's the idiot? Get a lot of that. How does your candlestick on TradingView make you more profitable than my candlestick on MT4? Market moves up, market moves down, it goes through time. How does your platform make you more profitable than mine? I suspect they've been trading for 6 months and they know everything. How close did you get on the funded futures account this morning? Max loss, 2K loss today. I tried. Didn't manage it. I had... Hold on. Because I'm typing the wrong thing. I was basically about $500 away. And I got chopped to death. So down here, look. So do you remember when I said, we're in the live room this morning, and I said, watch this range. you see that? Yeah. Watch this range here, because we had, what did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4 inside bars in a row. We had a 2 inside bar set up and it kept going sideways. And I said, watch this range. As soon as this range breaks, we'll get a move. And I took that long up to here, added, anticipating a push up into either resistance or into that double top. So I got in with 10 contracts. That there, roughly, was TP. That was the pass. And it pushed up, and I was about $500 away. And then it dropped, and I got stopped out for $1,000. So you can see I've got $1,860 loss. So as we pushed down, I flipped short to take that break. Got down to there. That brought my P&L back to $400 in profit, meaning that I needed about, including commissions, $800 to get over the line. So I was there, $800 away from target, and then it pushed all the way back up and stopped me out for $1,860 loss. So literally couldn't have got it more wrong today. I got the direction right. I could have banked 400 there. I could have banked 1,300 there. So the total of those two was a target hit. If I could have seen the future and known that was going to happen, I would have banked that, flipped short, banked that, had that sitting at 106, and I'd be sitting there waiting for my funded account. But that's not what happened. So now I am back to 103. Yeah, basically still $3,000 away from target. So $3,000 is a day. I can do $3,000 in a day on one breakout. So just the case, and hopefully that demonstrates what I keep saying in here. The system, the strategy, what you do has got nothing to do with whether you pass or fail an evaluation. Whether you pass or fail an evaluation has got to do whether or not when you press that button, the market goes in the direction that you've pressed the button for. You have no way of telling if it's going to go up or down. You can pick as many patterns, chart patterns, W pattern reversals, range breakouts. Doesn't matter what your system or strategy is, you have a failure rate on that strategy. And if your failure rate gives you 6 trades in a loss in a row, you will fail. If it gives you 6 trades in a pass in a row that go to profit, you will pass. The order those trades land in is what makes you profitable or not profitable when you're passing prop. Just got to keep taking the trades and eventually you'll get them over the line. But yeah, this morning, so close though, $500 away. And I was so tempted to take that 400. I should have put a break-even stop on both of those trades. But I thought, nah. And this is the trouble with prop. It's a game. Because it's a game, it's not real money. When you're trading prop in a valuation, because it's not real money, when you get so close to something, you think, sod it. I'm either going to hit it or I'm not. And that's the mentality that happens. You go to that, I literally needed a 5-minute candle or not. Yeah. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, as Virginius just said. Yeah. You never know what's going to happen. So you just basically get in, but your mindset changes when it changes to real money. Totally different mindset. If that was real money this morning and I had $400 floating there, that would have been protected. Because it was prop and it was not real money, I didn't protect it because what am I protecting? Numbers going up and down on a screen. If that was $400, that's my car payment. Damn right it's banked. So, it's different mentality when you get it funded as opposed to being in an evaluation. Okay, so S&P's back up at the highs. NASDAQ struggling to get anywhere today. Literally, we're virtually back at the open on the NAS. So S&P looks like it's breaking long. So upside potential on the S&P today. Sky's the limit, really. I get the feeling, though, we're just going to do this. See. Honestly, stop losses, bottom line is stop losses suck. Exactly, yeah. Look how easy it is for me to make money in position trading. Yeah, this is why I do it. I just make money all the time position trading. Using a stop loss, I make money a lot, but nowhere near as consistently as when I don't. And that's the whole purpose of the stop loss, is to take you out of the market. The job of the market is to move up and down and find liquidity and get orders filled for the banks. So you are just providing that liquidity. So you remove the stop, you stop providing the liquidity, you stop getting stopped out, you can't help but make money, because as long as the market's going up and down finding liquidity, it doesn't matter, does it? You just get out when it's up. So easy. But stop losses, and especially prop, when they give you that 5%, when they give you that loss limit, you have to stay within, you have to take those losses. So you are always guaranteed a loss of 5k most of the time in prop if you're trading a 100k account. 5k a day. Your upside is always capped by you getting out the market too soon, which is normally less than that, which is why P&Ls always go down. Remove the stop, P&L goes up. Very simple. You know my feelings on stop losses if you've been here long enough. Right. So if we get a run out of the highs, basically that one will go into profit. And then I'll hopefully wait for this to come back down and take this off with a bit less loss. We are just tapping those highs again. Look on the S&P. If this S&P gets back down here, I'll probably take that off. I think I just want to close these out with as little loss as possible today, but I'll just monitor them this afternoon and see where we go. Update on Wednesday. Right, so there's nothing to look at, so I'm going to leave it there today. If you want to have a look at obviously the analysis on FX, go and have a look at this morning, as I said. I'll be back on Thursday. No, won't be. Sorry, be back on Wednesday morning. We'll go through all the FX pairs. We'll get prepared for the news on Thursday. And obviously take the opening range breakouts. I will be in the Telegram group. So if you need anything, obviously come in Telegram group. If there's anything you want looked at, analyzed, that sort of stuff. But, you know, I'll probably say the same thing. It's not moving. So if it is moving, though, I will put some opportunities in there. I'm going to be trading this support resistance account. I'm in and out all day tomorrow and on Thursday, which is why I'm out all day on Thursday, actually, which is why I'm not doing the live rooms, because it's school holidays and I'm off doing stuff with the kids and stuff. So I will be posting any trades I see that look any good, like this one, in the Telegram group, if I'm not doing the live rooms. So just keep your eyes peeled on the Telegram group if you want to look for stuff that I'm looking at. But it is literally using the support resistance propulsion indicator to find highs and lows, and literally just try to mean revert the highs and lows over the next few weeks. See if we can get some decent moves out of these, because that's the easiest way to make money when we've got light liquidity and range bound trading. So we will see how we get on with those, but I'll post those in the group. And as I say, there's not even a lot of those opportunities at the moment, is there? So boring. Summer months, boring. All right, so anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Telegram. Otherwise, I'll be back Wednesday morning, 7:50 a.m. for the DAX Open, and 2:20 on Wednesday afternoon for the New York session. And I'll be in Telegram until then. Okay, so other than that, have a good couple of days, and I will see you guys on Wednesday.